Oh, you can get free stocks for real. That's amazing.
Yeah. If you invite someone, you get like a share and one share in like a free stock or whatever.
Nice.
All right, here we are. We are live.
We are live.
Okay, let's see. Moving this over. Next time, I'm gonna invest in having two monitors, so I could have like one thing over here, another thing over here.
Oh god, I can just see you with the 7 screens, like all these different
Like,
stocks everywhere, going full Sagittarius, full progressed Capricorn.
right? Okay, I'm gonna share this to my pages. Everybody's like, oh, they're always late. Hold on. We are watching. Okay, awesome. You guys can share. I would really appreciate share
Oh,
this out.
perfect. Oh, nice.
What's that?
I like the your thumbnail.
Oh, yeah, I made that. I made it. I got my picture from when I went to Teotihuacan, and that's the temple of the feathered serpent,
Yeah.
Quetzalcoatl, and I just took a picture of it, and then I cropped it and did all that stuff on Canva for free. Okay, I'm gonna share the link for Jax's.
Now I know how Moon and Capricorn synastry with Jupiter and Cap feels. That was awesome. Wow.
It's live stream, right? Live stream. Okay. jaxlns.com/live stream. Okay. All right, there we are. So if you guys can share, I really appreciate it. Let's see, group share. Awesome, awesome.
Wow.
All right. I told Zach to come see us live because he's off today.
Nice.
Oh, we got Leah here. We got Divine Moon, Carolyn Courts. How's it going? We got Adriana and Alicia. How's it going, guys? How are you guys doing today? We want details. We want all the details. We want to know your innermost thoughts today, you guys.
All of it.
All of it.
We also want your deepest, darkest secrets. If you can leave that in the public comment section, that'd be great.
Everybody's like, what?
This is
I eat
commitment, you guys.
peanut butter without jelly on my
You can
sandwich.
trust us all the way or not at all.
I don't cut my sandwiches. Eat them like full loaf.
How dare you?
Just a whole loaf. Just bite into it.
Oh, I miss bread.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, I forgot. You're still in that diet.
Every
I miss
time
bread.
think about bread, my mouth is just like, oh, hey, let's go get some of that. And I'm like, no, we can't.
Carbs.
Carb load. What is that?
I just want a bed made out of cupcakes, and I just want to jump on it and eat it.
Aww. What about pizza?
Oh God, when pizza commercials come on, I just basically get turned on. It's weird. I don't know how else to say it. Something new is happening in my psyche, and I don't know what it
That's
means.
funny.
This is pizza we're talking about.
But day 30 is coming up, so I'll be able to have one cheat day, and then I'm going to stick with this diet forever because this is the best. But
Forever?
yeah,
You're making a permanent sacrifice?
yeah, it's worth it. It's
Jax,
worth it.
think about it. This is pizza we're talking about.
Oh, I thought about it. Got it. You know
Yeah.
what my dream was last night? Eating donuts.
He's like,
I remembered vividly my long dream last night, and the whole thing was constantly me eating different types of donuts while I was talking to police officers. I don't know what was happening. I was eating just donuts. I was just nonstop eating them. And I think I had a baguette at one point. I'm not kidding. That's not an exaggeration.
Bro, I'm not kidding. I brought this morning.
oh, so
God
fucked
damn it.
up.
Oh my God.
Oh my
From
God.
Dunkin'?
Yeah. I never get Dunkin' Donuts. I was just like, you know what? Let me just get some donuts. Just
Maybe you're
Why
like
did I
tapping
predict
into this.
that? Why?
Now I know why. Holy shit.
Kimberly's like, wait, what? Stay out of my dreams.
You know you want one, Jack.
No.
You know
Do
you
you guys
want
not have
one.
Krispy Kreme though? Like, do you guys not have Krispy Kreme?
Oh, honestly, I just picked the first donut shop that came up. Yeah.
Dude, Krispy Kreme's the best.
It's one of the
We
goats.
went to Wisconsin and Zach's never had Krispy Kreme before, and I took him to one, and he was just like, "Oh my God, these are really
Yeah,
good."
it's like a feeling. It's more of a feeling than a food. It's like you're eating a cloud that tastes
Yes,
like
that's what I said. It's like eating a cloud.
yeah.
Donuts are
But I'll get a cheat day every once in a while, and I'll get to do that just for fun. But I can't do it. That is so weird. He got donuts though.
You're definitely in sync somehow.
Oh my goodness, though, like you just inspired me to also make sacrifices to
What are
my
you gonna
lifestyle. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to sacrifice eating fast food every day, and
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
That's for
you
sure.
eat it every day. You're bad.
God damn it. Yeah, you have to stop doing that as soon as
Please
possible.
do.
I
Although
kind of don't want
judge you for it.
diabetes.
I did that earlier
Shit.
I did that in December. In December, almost every day of December, I ate fast food.
Wow,
It was
I've been doing this for, like,
unacceptable.
the past 2 years. I just don't want diabetes or like high cholesterol. I didn't even know I can have it. My sister had to have a talk with me. I was like, oh, I thought I could just do this indefinitely and not have it.
Like,
Kimberly, hey,
I'm
time out,
honest.
guys. We need to
untouchable.
Kimberly, don't quit coffee. Don't do it. People have quit coffee and found no positive side effects. Coffee makes your bones denser. Coffee's good for your heart. Keep drinking coffee.
Coffee's good for you?
Bones, Kim. Okay.
Oh,
Just
you're talking
black.
to Camp.
Go back
Okay.
to coffee. Go
Where-
back to coffee.
Day 3 of no, I gotta start drinking coffee. I think
There you
that's what I
go.
need.
Not
Coffee's
not
good
with
for you.
It makes you
sugar or
stronger.
any creamer. Just
Black?
yeah, that's
I like to drown it in
butter.
sugar. Okay, so
It's
just
Salted
good.
organic.
embrace the bitterness is what I need to do.
Although they have flavored coffees, like the one that I get, I know, but
What?
the one that I get, okay, the Mexican ones, you can
Oh.
definitely drink plain black. It's this was a Nestle or something like that. That is like a combination of cinnamon and coffee. That's like the Mexican style one. You can drink it like that with cinnamon and coffee, like in coffee or whatever flavor. It's really, really good. It's
Coffee,
instant,
honey?
It's instant coffee. So
Mm.
all you gotta do is pour
Nestle,
some
okay.
hot water and then stir it. It's good. But you could also get the Starbucks K-Cups. I don't know if you have a Keurig, but I do. And I just get the cinnamon dolce flavored coffee, and it's really good black. Like, you don't have to add anything to it. Yeah, and or I get the caramel flavored one too. So I like it like that. And then there's the Kona Hawaiian coffee that you can make in the regular coffee pot that comes from the island, Kona Island or whatever, and it's macadamia flavored, and then there's a nutmeg flavored one too, and that's really, really good black too. So yeah, there's options.
I gotta step my coffee game up.
So, Kim, look, I know you added lots of cream and sugar, but here's the deal, okay? You can take some organic coffee, add 1 tablespoon of organic sea salted butter, okay? It sounds crazy, but trust me. You mix it up, and then you add just a little bit of organic half and half, boom. No sugar, tastes savory, tastes delicious, everything's fine. Your bones get dense, that's good. Dense life.
Why did you just look like the spokesperson?
Yes.
Everyone should drink coffee
right now every time he mentions it.
Every time.
Your face just started to glow, and like you made me want to drink it. Like, what is
coffee? Is my wife. I love coffee.
Word. I didn't even know you could put butter in coffee.
Put it in your room, Kim. Put the Keurig in your room. Just put it in your room right next to your bed and drink it every day. Multiple times.
Maxine knows what I'm talking about, that Mexican coffee that your grandma used to make. Like, my grandma used to make it, like, she'll put like it was a ceramic pot, and she'll boil water for like the whole day and put like a shit ton of cinnamon sticks, and then she'll put like the coffee grounds in there, and then she'll strain it out and like serve it in like these little ceramic coffee mugs things. Oh, shit was good, man.
Is that what y'all drink to get energy in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that does? Damn.
Yeah, dude. He drinks it throughout the day. He's a pro. I just drink it in the mornings.
I go hardcore parkour.
I can't like my body isn't used to like the caffeine yet. You know what I mean? Like I swear, I think air signs have this thing with their metabolism and the caffeine resistant. Yep. As soon as they wake up in the morning, it works for them, and then throughout the evening, afternoon, it still like does the opposite effect, meaning that they go back, like they go to sleep because they drink coffee. I swear to God, like, because that's how my fiance is too, where he drinks it throughout the day, and I'm just like, what?
You're the only air sign that's missing, Michael. We need you. We need a Gemini to be drinking this coffee.
I had no idea. I thought coffee was just like a meal. I thought that was all exaggerated when you guys are wired off of it. I didn't know.
No, it works.
I didn't know it really worked. Because that's
coffee
the number
is part of God. And if you want to be closer to God, you would arguably drink coffee, so you could be closer.
My power is fueled by coffee. The more coffee I drink.
Just think about it this way. If a bear attacked you, are you more or less likely to get away if you just had coffee? The answer is more likely.
That is so true.
Case closed.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm getting a Keurig yesterday. Nice.
Okay. It's time. I'm so proud of you.
Wait a gosh darn minute. I think I have a Keurig already, and coffee has been made, and I haven't even like drank any.
What?
Like, I've had a Keurig and also a Magic Bullet that I still have not used for like years. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I just like right when I'm about to cook, I just order fast food, and then it just,
right after this live. Right after this live.
I just remembered. That's
directly after the live is over, Michael. It's the time to do it. You have to document your experience and just get ready.
I should vlog it. I should do a coffee vlog. And a cooking vlog.
That was my next suggestion. You should go
how to cook
full in
fast food.
And all I do is just drink coffee.
You should, you know what? You should go get the taste challenge, right? With the all the chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
And be like Popeyes, Wendy's, McDonald's, things like that, and just be like, all right, we're gonna try them all and see which one's the best. We're gonna have a blindfold taste test and see which one's the best.
Genius.
Actually, that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
would be amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's amazing. All right, let's talk about what's happening this week with the transits.
Everything.
A full moon in Virgo. So let's talk a little bit about that. Like, how's that? Ooh, everybody feeling it already, girl? Oh my God. How many people are like out of control right now? Sorry.
It's literally everything. I think that's the coolest thing about this. Like this is literally everything that exists happening right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone getting triggered. And I'm just laughing the whole time. I'm like, oh my God.
I know for me, it's been so about the culmination of all of the things that have been happening the past 2 weeks. Like the past 2 weeks, it's like, in life, there's so much of life is you work, and then way later you see the fruition of something. To me, it's like today specifically and tomorrow, we're going to be getting the fruition in the physical of a thing that we've only been working on for a minute, that we've only been working on the past 2 weeks. And I know for me, I've been in my 6th house for a minute now, and I'm just feeling really good about the season. Everything that feels like, oh, okay, realistically, I have to wait a few months before anything happens with this. It's just things are just happening. Things are moving. Things are clicking into place. And to me, I'm looking at this Venus conjunct Uranus. It's like, I think the most important thing for us to recognize right now is that there's a secret ingredient to that beyond hard work, beyond action, and beyond strategy, which is the people in our life. With this Venus Uranus conjunction, it's like, who is really going to actually be there? Who is not really there? Who is partially material in your life? Who really cares if you're doing well or not? Who really cares if you're not doing well? Like looking at the quality of our friendships, our relationships, and even our familial connections. It's like, now's the time to kind of be honest, because I feel like as Venus departs Uranus, it's going to be like, okay, you better have sort of like made that recognition honestly with yourself and then acted accordingly, because you don't want that to depart and then feel like, yeah, everything's fine. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe I did think this other person wasn't really there, but I'm sure it'll be okay eventually. And it's like, it's not the time to have blind faith in the hope that someone might change. Looking at people's actions, looking at what they're doing, looking at, whether or not they care matters. And it's a form of self-love to start separating yourself from people who don't care. It's a form of self-love and self-respect to say that you're just not going to tolerate any more of that for another day. So you walk away, or you tell them if it's necessary, if the two of you are contractually connected somehow. But it's definitely time to take the quality of our connections dead serious, and especially in love. If you're in a relationship right now and you know that quality, that person is not going to put in the effort to make that quality, then it's time to basically be like, here's what I need, here's what you clearly don't need. So we need to do something about that,
Beautiful.
That's how I'm seeing it.
This is like some of the most amazing times of our life. The transit of Venus alone is preparing all of us to change fundamentally how we even like relate with other people, and like everyone moving forward is going to be opening up to new dynamics that they have been wanting. There's certain quirks you've been wanting to express with people that is now manifesting, and that might be a shock to some people, because you might have had to combat the opposite of being accepted. And what I mean by that too is like, I'm really just shocked as hell because the sun is on Neptune starting a cycle, Venus is on Uranus starting a cycle, Mars is on Pluto, Pluto and Saturn starting its cycle, which is just so well timed that it's kind of like a game changer. And if we plug in what each of these mean, we know Mars on the Capricorn cycle is a new cycle of evolving into your greatest power, doing the greatest work you could ever do. And Mars and Capricorn,
that's what I feel like.
Building that
long term.
And not only long term, but with a team, which is is what we're doing right now. Like the Three of Pentacles, Mars and Capricorn, really connecting where it matters. And then Sun in Pisces is literally Sun on Neptune is an alien construct that is literally ascension. So your awareness is transcending with Neptune and Pisces to now, based on this cycle that's come back, which will only happen until 2025. So each ascension is higher in clarity. At this state, 18 degrees is 9 numerology, and we are now taking action into stepping into the next level of psychic awareness, channeling much more fluidly, and pretty much because of the earth influence, manifesting your greatest dreams. Very much so what Jack said as well, as far as like seeing what you've invested come to fruition. And the best part is Venus came out of Aquarius and it went over Chiron, and then it went over Neptune, it went over Neptune, then it went over Chiron. Now it's over Uranus. Then it's going to be on the North Node in Gemini. So, our relationships have been literally getting prepared for the greatest change ever. And that's all about like just owning up to your worth and what your value is.
And I think it's more not just only for like it's more like an individual force in the way that you have to show like what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate anymore. And it's not just relationships with people that it's also like online. Like, what are you going to allow these people to disrespect you? Like, are you going to actually, like tell them like, go love yourself somewhere else, like things like that. And so it definitely has like this energy about it. Cause I usually just personally, for a very long time, when I would see comments that were like really stupid on like my posts, I would just delete them. I was just like, whatever, they'll go away. And now I'm just like, no, fuck you. Like, don't disrespect me on my fucking page. Like, what's wrong with you? And so I'm just like being a smart ass instead, like joke, like twisting their words, like on purpose, making jokes. And so that they're the ones that blow up.
That's kind of the irony about what Michael was saying with Sun on Neptune, though, because it's like there is a difference between passivity and flow.
Yeah.
Like allowing these comments to come in and not affecting us negatively versus allowing these comments to come in and then being hurt by it, but then doing nothing. And even though the action can look the same from the outside, they're two such different places mentally to come from. So like Kim and Adriana have been going through that recently with all the word vomit and just like letting everything out super loudly. It's like, I think we actually, the irony of that is the most ascended thing to do, even though it seems like the most 3D, like to just let it all out seems like such a, human, like baser trait or even negative sometimes, but it's not. It's actually like it's the only way we can relieve ourselves of that so that we can keep moving up. Because we can't move up in this perpetual pretend state of like peace in the face of injustice. We're not at peace when we're in the face of injustice, and we have to make justice sometimes. And pretending that it will just happen of its own accord because we're smiling a lot is not the case. Like we actually have to do something to make justice sometimes. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, because I used to just be like, whatever. Like, it didn't bother me. It was just kind of like, like they're going through some shit, making excuses for their behavior, right? That's a Pisces moon. And so today, and actually yesterday and today, lately, I was just like, who the fuck are you? Like, what the fuck?
Well,
Like,
that's
I
good.
didn't even fucking ask you. I don't even know who you are. You know? And so I've been just like kind of like responding back and just being like, look, I don't know what the fuck you're going through, but it's not up in here, you know, like don't do that shit up in here. Instead. And like
That's
I'm like
all right.
laughing my
Gotta
ass
be
off the whole
sorry.
time too.
That's a saying now. That rhymes.
Nah,
Mess with Ari, you're gonna be sorry.
mess with, ooh,
Yeah, that works for me.
nice. That's like a presidential slogan campaign.
Yeah. 2028, Ari.
That's beautiful.
Woo!
You could be vice president.
Vice president, let's see.
Just because I really want to run for president.
And
Oh, word.
Mike will be our foreign relations.
Yes, and treasure.
Yeah.
And then I'll have my fiance.
He'll be able to tell us the good and bad side of everyone.
Right. Right.
Well, the good side of Russia is that, you know,
They have
what
land.
about the
China
bad
throws it
side?
down.
Oh, yeah, there's some stuff over there too.
Yeah, they have oil.
We might want to start a conflict. I mean, yeah.
On second thought, maybe.
Damn it.
My fiance will be the Secretary of National Security because he's really good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking into existence.
Before it happens.
Which is dope. Like we just did future projection right now, which kind of comes off as a joke, but like that's really Sun and Pisces. It's like the very essence of your being, and that's the dopest part about Pisces. It's allowing you to see the subtle psychic realm of the astral plane. And if Neptune is literally the astral plane, everyone is looking into the astral plane right now. And so Pisces is representing all your thoughts, all your feelings, everything that makes up who you are, and that manifesting. If you're thinking that you're weak, you're manifesting weakness. It's like having to live the dream, right? And the best part is like the final piece of a puzzle that you have been piecing together since 2008 is being revealed. And
oh god, that makes so much sense. 2008, that actually that matches ridiculously well.
It's huge. This is groundbreaking. Because what's next after this? We have the new moon in Aries, and then we start the new moon in Aries with Saturn in Aquarius, which is like a brand new cycle with the new Saturn chapter. So we're not only closing so much, it's like Uranus in Taurus wants to remind you that you might have been selling yourself short because of people who were not able to understand you because your puzzle wasn't complete. And this is just like, and it's happening now. Like everything over the past decade is ready to make so much sense. So it's preparing you to step into the new moon in Aries. Like, this is who I am. We've completed it. Like I've gotten all the hindsight. And I'm feeling it's most important for you too, Jax, because you're literally at the focal point where you're seeing the convergence of like everyone play out and how it's significant. So like Pisces is, as your sixth house, you're seeing it all come together.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's
also crazy because the beginning of that cycle is actually when I stopped writing poetry, and in the past like
you've been writing
2 weeks, I all of a sudden have started writing all my poetry again. It's crazy. Just out of nowhere, I'm just like,
That's
oh, it's
true.
back finally. Like the lightning of poetry is back again.
I do want to hit up that. I was in Saudi Arabia in 2008, and it was like kind of like a quick little deployment there. We were teaching them certain things. Can't really say what we were teaching them, but we were there with the Saudi, the Royal Air Force. I was making like great friends with them because one of them was like, "Hey, you want to be my third wife?" And I'm like, "No."
Our third wife. Yes.
But he was like teaching me about his religion, like the Quran, and he even gave us a little Quran and things like that. And this was when like there's kind of like an identity crisis, I guess you could say, because everybody thought I was from like Turkey, and I'm like, no. And then another thing is that the stocks, that was an idea from back then, because one of my supervisors, he was into trading at that time. Like he was telling us about it. Like he was like, oh man, you guys, if you guys get like the deployment money from this deployment, because we're making a lot of money, invest in stocks. And I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna do that? Like how am I gonna do that? And then he's like, oh, here, there's an app, and this, I don't know what kind of app he had, but it was something like that on his phone, and he was showing us, and I was just like, nah, like I was like, nah, that's too complicated.
I'll never do this in 10 years.
Yeah, I'll never do that. That's exactly what I was.
So 2008 was the first time you even considered stocks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like the year after my daughter was born. She was born in 2007. And so it was already like I was building my family type of thing, So I have to do like, because he even told me, he's like, look, you're a single mom. You need to start doing something, because he was a Taurus sun. And I think he was just really adamant about us investing, like adamant about it. Like you need to have funds for your child and for you, and savings and things like that. And so I was just like, nah, because I was getting a lot of money back from our deployment, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna buy a new car instead. And I bought a new car instead.
Word.
So I was just like, damn. And now that cycle came back, I was like thinking, when's the first time and yeah, 2008 was the first time he actually talked to us about it.
Right when Pluto went into Aqua. For me, it was college. That was the first year I became a freshman in college, and like smoked weed for the first time, started drinking for the first time.
Now you're not.
Started having sex for the first time. Like it was a total, 8th house, 9th house. And now I'm about to graduate.
Me too. Wow. I walked the stage May 2nd. Woo, woo.
Oh my gosh, you guys, congratulations.
Word. That's what's up. I think that's actually dope. You and I might be walking when the south node's on your sun and the north node's on my sun.
Huh.
How interesting. Really interesting.
Oh man, I'm excited about it. And then I gotta take my GRE tests, and then from there I had to do an interview with the university for my grad school. So
are you going straight into grad school, or are you taking...
they said I have to wait a year, so I'm gonna have a year off.
Nice.
Because the actual application process already closed, and they already did interviews, and they only selected a few, and so I have for next year. So that's when I'm going to start. So I have to take the GRE tests. I have to do an interview with the head of the department, and I have to write a paper. It's like, why do I want to be a psychologist?
Why do you want to be a psychologist?
I'm fucked up and I need to fix them. No, just kidding. No, I do because I like helping people and trying to what it is not telling them what to do. It's about giving them resources and tools on how to find their way back to a healthy self. And there's a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think, oh, it's a shrink or a psychologist or a doctor. Oh no, I wouldn't trust them because they want to put you on drugs, things like that. But that's not really how it goes. Like maybe in some states, probably the process is faster, but I know in the Midwest it's not that quick. Like I'm just like, it takes time because no one wants to be on or put, especially kids, because I'm going to be working with kids. I don't want to put kids on unnecessary meds. I have to make sure that they really need them. So yeah, that's the reason why. Just make sure our kids are healthy. The reason why they're acting out, it might be emotional. It might be different reasons, not just because they have behavior issues, because they just can't stand still, things like that. So that's why it's important to have a thorough evaluation. And I'm going to be working with medical doctors too, because I want to do make sure that they have MRIs done, because if you find a growth in the brain, it can cause a lot of things, a lot of especially with schizophrenia, and is really prevalent lately in the Midwest. And it has a lot to do with drug use or some type of brain injury or some type of brain growth.
Encephalitis.
Yeah, like
Damn.
it just feels like there's just so much, like it could be environmental as well as it could be, biological, and there's just so much that we haven't thoroughly investigated, that I want to be that first doctor that's just like, no, we're gonna take the proper steps before I fucking drug somebody. Like, I'm not gonna just throw drugs at somebody, if we don't go through everything, like everything, neurologically speaking too, not just because they want drugs, or not just because the parents want them on drugs, so it's gonna be thorough.
which is actually even more like ironic you mentioned, because the whole rhetoric behind like drug usage and abuse is ready to shift narratives finally, and like actually change.
Well,
And
a high percentage of drug users do it because it's self-medicated.
yeah,
They unfortunately didn't have the means, or maybe they felt like they didn't have anyone that was supporting them with their trauma or their issues, things like that. And they probably have a background in abuse or being abused, things like that. And so they don't have that support system, that structure that they need to feel safe, feel loved, feel understood. And so they self-medicate with drugs or alcohol or whatever else. And so when we start to accept that hey, these people didn't really, like, yes, they had a choice in the beginning, yes they did, but because of the certain drugs that they're using, it fucked up their chemistry in their brain. Now they're relying on it, now their serotonin levels are fucked up, things like that. And so it just feels like when we talk about it, like really talk about it, like people are not having the right coping mechanisms for this stuff. They don't have, either they think they don't have access to it because they haven't been told, or maybe the community is not open to that too. Like there's a suppression on that, so it's just a number of things. And so when you are ignorant and are going around not knowing what your options are, then you're going to choose something that is going to work for you, temporarily speaking, so it's a lot. It's a lot going on.
and what I'm more so like amazed, and that I've seen you do, I think I've seen you do it because you have like outer planets in Sagittarius, so like you show this process, but like all the psychic power that's been awakening since 2008 is now crystallizing too, and is getting ready to lead into Pluto Aqua, where it's like, okay, we finally just mastered our power. Now it's time to master the knowledge of who we are.
Exactly.
Brand new end to new beginning. And it's like, wow. And so what do you feel about like how much your like natural gifts have changed? You too, Jax, like where were you psychically 08 versus now?
I think I already had, like, back then I did readings for myself. In 2008, I had like tarot and oracle cards. I was like checking out Doreen Virtue was like a big one back then. And I actually was discovering a lot, like with meditation and yoga, even because I was in the military, so I had like a lot of stress, like high stress level. And so I was like, I need to relax. I need to find something to help me relax. And sure enough, I feel like it started before that, of course, because as a young kid, being raised in a certain way, to believe certain things beyond religious beliefs. I wasn't limited. The only person limiting me was my mom at the time, and so I was really open to learning new things, how to cope. Working with my abilities, especially because as a kid I'm super medium. I saw everything, but I suppressed it as a teenager. But as a young adult, in the the early 2000s, I started to have that stuff come back. And especially in 2007, like before my daughter was born, I started to have a lot of like because as a shaman, we do a lot of dream work, you know, so a lot of my predictions were coming in through from dreams. So I would predict like pregnancies, I would predict when someone's
Wow.
gonna die, you know, things like that. And so it was just like really like thoroughly like leading me to what my abilities are. And then when I had my daughter, before I had her, we had like, you know, the ultrasound, the text couldn't tell me what sex she was or anything like that. And I was like, she's a girl, you know, because I dreamed her exactly how she was gonna look, that she's gonna look like me, mini me or whatever, and all that stuff. And her temperament too. And so I dreamed her, and the texts are like, well, we don't know if it's a boy or girl because she won't, like, the baby, like the fetus won't let us see or whatever. And I was just, because she was like cross-legged, like, no. and so so I was like, it's a girl, you know, and they're like, okay, it's a girl, you know. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's a girl. And then I had a 3D ultrasound done like at 8 months, and sure enough, a girl. And I was like, I knew it. I told you guys. You guys don't believe me.
Wow.
But yeah, so I already had these abilities, and I was already working with them. But it felt more like I felt like more like I couldn't accept that part of me 100% because of the 3D job that I was in, you know? Like, if you would have told somebody like, oh, hey, let me read your tarot cards, I'd be like, you're crazy. You know? Well, I did have friends that did allow me to, but like not that many were open. So now it's really open. Like, my family, everybody knows.
I didn't even
it's
read
kind of funny for me in this cycle as well. 2008 was the time I started getting really into the animal totems, and like I just got super into it, started really integrating that, and you know, 12 years later, here I am all of a sudden, like with a passion, just reintegrating animal totems into the tarot I do, into astrology, into all these different things. And it's so funny because it's like, it's so constant in my daily life. Like, you know, there was this like, so I've been tanning recently, which might surprise you because I'm still very, very white, but
vampire white.
If you compare me to me a month ago, you will actually notice that I'm much more tan. So it might seem silly, but it's true.
You're glowing.
No, I know.
You're more glowing.
Yeah, you're glowing.
Than like pale.
Like, yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. But
yeah.
The point is, I've been tanning for the past couple of weeks, and the lizard totem has been coming up because here in Southern California, there's lizards everywhere. And so I was out tanning, and I was sort of, you know, it's like a self-love thing. Like, you're literally sitting there doing nothing except for like listening to, like, you know, The Art of War, or like, you know, the Tao Te Ching or something on an audio book. You're basically just laying there, just like taking in sun, only receiving, not giving anything, not doing anything. And so that's really difficult. But for me, it was a really positive experience. But the lizards are all doing the same thing. They're out there, and I finally like connected with the lizard totem, and I'm like, okay, I finally get you guys now. Like, they're just out there. They kind of do a few push-ups. They say here and there, but like they're basically just chilling, only receiving. And so there was like a really powerful connection to the lizard totem that I have now. And it was interesting because there was I was thinking this morning, I was like, yeah, there's part of this like meekness that you kind of have to give up in order to, like, you know, kind of step into your next stage of life. If you're going to take on bigger challenges, you have to become more. And then there was this dead mouse in the swimming pool in the backyard. And so to me, it was like, you know, the meekness of the mouse. It was like symbolically, like, it's weird. The universe repeatedly every day puts all these weird animal related situations in my life this past few months where like animals will behave weird, or they'll be, you know, in strange places, but it's awesome. Nice. It was a falcon it was a hawk or a falcon. I don't know how to tell the difference between them, but there was a falcon or a hawk that was just Falcons like chilling in the backyard the other day, just sitting there regally. And it was just after I had talked to someone about being perceptive and knowing what to look for and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's just crazy. The universe is just repeatedly sending animals to me through everything I'm doing.
Damn.
So,
you know who charges up with the sun too? Cats.
What?
Yeah, cats going. Like, my cat's always like, if I have they always come and bother me if I don't have the shades open. Like, they are pissed. They come in there like meow, 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 and then like lure me to like the back area or whatever with the yeah. And then I open the shades and they're like, ah, and they lay down and then like the sunbeam comes in and they're just like, yes. And they recharge like that because then after that they're like, okay, I'm done.
That's wild.
Yeah, they're crazy. Like, what the fuck? What do you want?
I didn't even know cats can do that.
Yeah, cats are intelligent. Like, at least mine, they're really communicative. Like, they really communicate like their needs. They're like, hey.
Yeah, Abyssinians are like insane. They're like velociraptors. Abyssinian cats, they do weird. They open doors. They like you don't teach them anything. You don't want to teach them anything because like
no, they'll learn. They'll
they
learn.
figure out how
Watch you.
You said Abyssinian cats?
Abyssinian. That's the ones that the Egyptians worshipped.
Yeah. So
I had one of those Abyssinian cats. Those things are insane. They're little
Abyssinian.
psychopaths. They're, so
They're little psychopaths.
yeah, and I love them. But like they're little psychos. And like they just want
they're high energy too.
Yeah.
You can even take them out for a walk.
Yeah.
On a leash.
They'll break out of the house, run away, and then run back because they're bored.
The Energizer Bunny of felines.
Dude, let's go ahead and get this going. Like I'm back. And it's like they don't obey anything.
They do what they want.
They're crazy.
I have a black cat. The black cats, I find that the black cats are really obedient. I find that it's really interesting. It's like a dog. My black cat, particularly, like he'll say hi to everyone. He doesn't care who you are. Oh, a lap to sit on, you know, like that's how the cat is. And then if you tell him, okay, Rex, you know, like you call him, he'll be like you hear him and then you run coming like, hey, what's going on? You know? And then or if you like go like, come on, let's cuddle, and he'll just jump on your lap and just cuddle with you. But he always listens. He's a good listener, except for like when he starts getting like weird, like because he was an alley cat, so he tries to dig through the trash and like, no. But he knows that he's in trouble if he runs off. But yeah, he's a good one. He definitely listens. The other two, not really. Like I have to coax them, like, come cuddle, you know. But that one's like, yes, let's do this. Yeah, I find black cats are really intelligent.
Learn something new every day. I know I got to get a cat, so I'm about to look up Abyssinian.
Yeah, get an Abyssinian. That's the way to go.
I wanted a black cat or what?
I think they're tan, right? Like a light brown kind of color.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different coats that I've seen, but they all have, it's very unique, the pattern of it. It's almost like squirrel fur.
Yeah, like
squirrel fur as far as the pattern. It's kind of weird.
Wow. The Energizer Bunny.
The Bengal cats are kind of like mini little leopards.
Damn.
Yeah. You have like the white ones that are like kind of like white with black spots, and then you have the tan ones with like brown or black spots. They're long and they're like really lean, and they're kind of big on a big side as well. So yeah, there you are. There you are, little Bengal.
God, you have so many tabs open. Jesus Christ.
Tabs on tabs on tabs, man.
How do you
And they're
do
really
that?
intelligent too. Like they're like the Abyssinians. If they watch you, like they watch you open doors, and they'll learn how to open a door themselves.
Yeah, but look at a little Abyssinian cat.
Oh,
they're so cute. Look at them.
Get an Abyssinian going.
Everybody's like, why are we looking at cats right now?
Hold on, everyone. Hold on. I'll show you.
Oh, guys. It's the last day of Mercury retrograde. I'm so happy.
Yes. Everyone needs to adopt kitties. Everyone gets a cat.
We're helping you guys.
If you're into magic, you need a kitty.
Speaking of magic, I was at the store today. The reason why I knew it was the last day of Mercury retrograde is because I had like 11 items, and they counted 11 in front of me, and then there was only 10, and the cashier was so dumbfounded. She's like, "Oh my gosh! Like you saw me count 11, right?" And I'm like, "Mercury is retrograde or something." She's like, "It's the last day. It's retrograde." She looked spooked though. She looked like she couldn't believe it. It was like a magic trick. She's like, "What?
Little ears."
I know. I just want to bite her face.
Oh, Jaxie needs one for his birthday.
Yes. I'll get you a cat, Michael.
Yes,
Let's get my
yes.
cat. Let's
That'll
get
be
my
the.
cat.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The only reason why I haven't got one yet is because it's like, oh wait, if I get a cat, then one day it's gonna die, and I don't want to have to.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
stop
What?
that.
I know.
Michael,
Like in 20 years.
I'm going to die someday.
No, sometimes I'm like, what if it gets in a freak accident or like something falls on it? They're just like,
You're
That
not
could
being
happen
a
to everyone
dad
ever
if
in
it
all
gets in an
situations.
accident. You're
That's
being
what
a
all of
bad
life is.
dad.
you have to understand this is like a new responsibility for me. It's like my
It's because it's that Gemini in him. Like, what if
first commitment.
We gotta have these conversations sooner next time. Because
That's been my biggest fear. It's like, holy shit, like there's no turning back. Like once I get this cat, once I get this animal, it's like I gotta.
It's yours forever. And they can easily tell you if you're dating someone and they don't like them, then can it tell you this? Like that girl better take a walk. It's the same thing with dogs too. They're like,
oh yeah.
But cats are
just
more obvious about it. Like, get the hell away from me.
They'll just be rude to them. Okay,
yeah,
so if a cat
they won't let them touch them at all.
I thought that was just because cats were finicky. So like if they let them touch them,
it
then they're like,
depends on. Well, I find that female cats are more like get the fuck away from me,
right?
Because that's how it was, and you know that's how they're built, because they're built to like run away from danger. Because male cats are fucked up to them in the wild. Yeah. And so that's why they're like, get the hell away from me, stranger. And the male cats are more lovable. Like they're like, hey, what's going on? Like they're more curious.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I want a pet wolf, so that any girl who wants to date me has to, tame the wolf first.
Get a female one.
Beauty and the Wolf.
Get a female because they'll tell you straight out, like, no, like
I was just gonna ask, like, what's the preferred gender? Do you get the same gender as you, or do you get the opposite?
I have 2 male cats and 1 female cat. And I would say that I love the males more because they're more like, hey, pay attention to me. But I do love the female too, but she gets really like
she's like 4 out of 5 stars. The males are like 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, if you both get a female, they usually love their owner like 110%. Like they won't let anybody else like touch them.
Well, I should get a male. He should get a female so that they can have babies.
Right.
I'm thinking I'll get a female.
Yeah,
sure. I'll get a male.
They're gonna be all over you. They're gonna just want to go to you. They're not gonna want anyone else touching them. They're gonna be like, "The fuck are you doing here?" Like I swear, that's how they are. But males are more like, "I love everyone." So if you have that, like, give me your loving, attention 100%, then get a female cat.
I feel like it can channel conduit of energy too, and like.
Oh yeah, no, especially Abyssinians. That's why I brought up them in the first place. In 2008 is the year of the Abyssinian. It was my sister's cat, but we had lived together at the time. But yeah, that cat, like you go into past lives and stuff. You just look in the eyes. And the thing is, Abyssinians, they'll just stare. Like I know cats stare, but like Abyssinians would like look into your soul. Like it's like a whole different. Egyptian crossing the river of death. There's something going on with those cats.
So it has its lineage in Egypt.
What? Yeah.
It has. Wow.
Technically, it's not confirmed. They just look identical to all the statues, and they know that the breeders came from that area. So it's like technically it's not proven, but they look just like the statues.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Well, if you do get like a male, don't make sure, especially if it's a tabby, meaning like American short hair. It's like the typical ones that you'll see in the shelters. Make sure that you change their diet to a CD diet because they get crystals in their bladder easily because of the pH balance. It's really sensitive there. So for male tabbies, it's like they have to be on a diet because either they get really fat and get crystals, or they, you know, they don't last long. Let's put it that way. Because we had our first cat was a tabby, gray, short hair, and he died like within like 2 years of us having him because he was with he had a previous owner that just fed him junk, and then he was in the animal shelter that they feed him like random shit. And so when we got him, his bladder was already fucked. Like it was already messed up. Yeah. And so they have a lot of issues. But for Abyssinians, I've never heard, I think only like hips, right? I think that's the only thing, hip or joint issues when they're older.
Some of them do, yeah.
Yeah. And it's because they're so active. That's why. But for Bengals, the same thing, just hips and joint issues when they're older because of their activity. They're always jumping and climbing and, you know, crazy. But black cats, the same thing. They're usually really slim, the black cats. They don't really get fat at all, but they'll eat anything. And then the calicos, which are the female cats, they're all female. There's no male calicos. Those are the ones that do gain weight too. So you got to watch their diet too. So it's just, you got to be very like thorough with their diet food too. And Abyssinians, in order for you to keep their coat nice and shiny, it has to have raw meat. All right. Like they love like raw meat.
Yeah, me and my cat can eat the same thing now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So you feed them like a little treat here and there like that. So they'll love it.
I'll just get it like a fish tank. And it'll have to catch its own food.
Right? That's gonna be in there swimming like
Give it a fishing rod.
right.
Teach it to fish.
That'd be good. That'd be good for them.
Damn.
All right. So anyway, you guys want to do the Tarotscopes for the week?
Yes.
Okay. So who's doing what?
I will do Earth.
Okay. I'll do air.
You're gonna do air?
Yes.
All right, I'll do fire and water.
Okay.
Nice. That's what's up. And just to recap, just so we're sure, 3 of the greatest cycles for anyone who wants like a synopsis of what this week represents. This week we are kicking off 3 major cycles that will transform the way you take action, change the way you live your life, and manifest new value that you can invest and your income is automating. So yeah, breakthroughs for everybody. And it's amazing. If you ever wanted to actualize your dream, it is happening right now.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about full moon in Virgo is it makes your dream real. So you can be like, oh, wow, like my dream was to be in a relationship. And then you start to really manifest a relationship and realize this is nothing like I wanted. This is what I thought I wanted. This is not at all what it really is. And it's like you get to adjust what you thought. There's a lot of reality checks that can make you kind of feel sad, but it's ultimately good because it's reality saying, hey, this is what you want looks like. So you should kind of adjust it if you don't want it. It's kind of late.
Awesome.
Oh, and congratulations, because you're completing a 10+ year mission that you agreed to go through these life experiences. So yeah, it's awesome. Who wants to go first?
Jax, you should go first.
All right. So fire signs. First of all, we got Knight of Cups. Okay, so for this upcoming week, you are going to want to avoid any gossip. You're going to want to avoid any arguments that are not about you or part of. You're going to want to make sure you don't engage in any empty words, that you don't fill your cup with any people that are just putting out toxic energy right now. And you're going to want to do all of this. And it's so important to do this because literally this can cloud what could be the most powerful week ever. Like this can be an extremely powerful week of evolution for you. This could be you transforming into your true self, a purely authentic self. And any of this can actually create giant clouds of distraction. So don't indulge in self-pity. Don't indulge in negative emotions because there's kind of that cathartic feeling and then you sort of get that like rush from it and then you just stay sad. Like let all of that go. Three of Swords is crystal clear that if you honestly engage with the loss that you've faced in this lifetime, if you honestly engage with the things that you've had to either give up or sacrifice, or that you've been put in the position to feel that with, if you finally let it go and you finally accept that it happened and it's not going to change, and then you can finally like release that weight from your chest, then you'll be freed up to step into the Eight of Wands. And you'll be able to realize all these incredible dreams. You'll be able to set the highest goals possible. You'll be able to say that not only can I achieve, but I can possibly outshoot to the next echelon. I can find the next level that will truly get me to where I want to go to accomplish the dreams that I've always wanted to make a reality. Eight of Wands is saying you have the power to do that. You will have a secondary stability. You're going to have luck and opportunity and people that are at your side, but only if you're willing to shed any of the pity, any of the gossip, any of the cardboard people right now in your life. Like any situations that are just they're just processed and synthetic. Like it's time to go. It's time to go full organic as far as your connections, as far as your communication, as far as the way you treat yourself. And then for the water signs, you guys have three major arcanas. You actually have, so first of all, you got the Empress. So it's pretty clear you guys are going to be definitely forced to create right now, forced to be very creative, resourceful, and with what you've got, like with what you actually have available. And some of this might feel like a failure because you know the success could be more perfect, but don't be so hard on yourself. Understand this three numerology, just like with the Three of Swords for the fire sign, Three of Swords Empress numerology is telling the water signs, you're starting a journey now. You are starting something new. And in this journey, the very first thing you're going to have to do is face your moon. You're going to have to face this dark side of things. The dark side of things in this particular case is really just the reality. It's just the reality about yourself and about the ways in which you've inhibited yourself, or the way that you limited yourself, the way that you faced some sort of obstacle and you feel that you failed, or you faced criticism from someone you respected or loved, and then you feel like you were hurt by it. But you have to face that and look it directly in the eyes, because if you can go through the wheel and you can see this shift of seasons. You can finally see the spring, the winter turn into spring fully. And you can feel in this spring the new life, the creativity, the excitement, the poetry, just literally everything in life being in its most vivid colors possible. So don't deny yourself facing what happened. Don't deny yourself understanding your own dark side, your own shadow, because that way you can finally truly explore a life that has light in it, that has real light in it, not the quest for light, but the actual feeling of it in your days and in your nights. So that's what I'm feeling for the fires and waters.
Woo! All right, so I'm gonna do the air signs. So the first sign I pulled a card for was for Aquarius, and I got the Judgment card. So with this being like kind of like a fire energy, it feels like it's definitely transmutative and transformative. It feels like Aquarians, you guys are going to be ready to step it up 110% into what it is that you truly desire to create for your life. Another thing that I find interesting is that this card is kind of like it's time for you to definitely come face to face with anything that's holding you back, any type of fear, limiting belief, things like that. And it's time for you to finally find a resolution to that and evolve. Choose to evolve for the better. Another thing is like a more positive side of this is that you're ready for it. You're ready for the next coming chapter, any challenges that are perceived, things like that, because you already have a plan of action and how you're going to navigate through these things for this coming week. There seems to be like a change of perspective as well as a change of heart. It seems like relationships in particular for Aquarius are going to be a little bit, I would say, shaky. All right. I feel like there's going to be a letting go of things, letting go of someone, a letting go of a space, a group of, or mentality, as well as even a career. Like it feels like you're definitely ready to move on with your life and choose your happiness over whatever else was holding you back. Okay, so that's what I have for Aquarius. The next one I got is the Chariot for Libra. Movement forward too. So this feels like it's definitely about business. It feels like there is a strategy, a plan already set in motion. It also feels like there's going to be something coming up that is going to allow you to actualize this or actually spread this information in a grand scale. Okay, so there's an opportunity arising. Okay, it feels like you're going to take it. It also feels like there is opportunity for investing and in your own projects and business that people are going to start looking into, and they're going to be like, wow, this person's really talented, this Libra, like they really know what the hell they're talking about. And it feels like you're drawing these people in like this week, like you investors, like they're definitely going to help you with what it is that you want to build. You already have a plan of action, you have like a slideshow built and everything, so you can show them exactly what you have planned, so they could feel more I would say resolved in assisting you with this. Okay, so this is what I feel for Libras. Next one is Gemini, the King of Cups. So this is, I'm feeling romance, all right, for Gemini. I'm feeling like there is a reigniting of a spark, possibly from, yeah, like there seems to be like this connection to someone in the past, or maybe this person is, the new person is emulating the same type of personality and connection. So there's definitely romance in the air for Gemini. It feels like it's going to be very heartfelt, and this is something really brand new for them because they don't really feel comfortable with that emotions period. So it's really kind of like, whoa, is this fucking for real? Like there's it's going to be that type of like, is this person for real? Like, is this really happening, you know? And so there's definitely going to be that type of emotion coming in. And because it's a King of Cups, it's a masculine, not just a woman or a man. It's a masculine force. In order for things to move forward, you need that Gemini. You need that extra push from a masculine force, and it could be a man or a woman. Again, just emulating that energy of masculinity, but in a more I would say mature emotional way. And so it won't frighten you, it won't overwhelm you, I would say like the Knight of Cups would overwhelm me with fucking like beautiful romantic words and shit like that, but there's no substance behind it. But the King of Cups is like, yes, I have substance, and yes, baby girl or baby boy, I can show you the way. You know, like it's like kind of like that type of like, you're like, oh shit, like this is really happening. So that's what I got for you air signs. So a lot of changes happening.
The last Knight of Cups to try and get at me wanted to marry me the same day she met me.
Yeah, see, that's not
like,
how.
nah, I can't.
No, the King of Cups is different. The King of Cups is like, yeah, let's romance you a little bit, but I'm not gonna tell you exactly like straight off, you know, like let's get married. No, not that.
Yeah, that was feeling scare me too. I'm not gonna lie, Adriana. I thought never mind. Earth, we have this kind of just came free flow. So yeah, the main theme here, Earth, is you're striking oil here. Your cup is running over, and it's this new epiphany that is literally opening up a new connection to your feelings. And when I say striking oil, it's like a new way to feel good. And this new way to feel good is going to break through all of your relationships, because all this mental chatter here with the Five of Swords and your doubts and your insecurities, which represented like the outside voices around you, literally the devil and the Five of Swords, it's literally like a malevolent dark force that's wanting to have you doubt yourself, that's like gossip around you, and the Ace of Swords is addressing all this conflict and like actually clearing away all the negativity, and this striking of oil that you're stepping into Earth is not only filling your cup up, but it's allowing others to come take a part of your cup, and the universe is giving you the final piece of the puzzle to literally rework the entire. It's like all the earth signs are getting a swagger upgrade, and if there was any type of like um stuck feelings or like mental blocks, the mental blocks the mental blocks are completely ending. And my bad, I haven't heard the mental blocks are completely blown off. And so the message, Earth, is surrender your anxiety with the Nine of Swords and Hangman. Surrender all your anxiety, everything that you're worried about. It's time for you to let it go. Virgo, stop worrying. I don't know why. I don't know why Spirit is Capricorn's worrying, but Capricorn has a lot of shit to deal with. Taurus is kind of anti, but Taurus is dealing with Uranus. Virgo, you are overthinking shit. Like you have shit down packed, and you're still overthinking shit. So like surrender your thoughts, surrender your anxiety, and like the thing with the Hangman is having the faith to surrender to a higher power, which is the hardest for Earth to do, because Earth depends on what's real to a degree. So you surrender to that higher power, or you just surrender your anxiety. We have the Judgment and the Lovers, and this is you now with this newfound emotional foundation. You know what I'm saying? Like stepping into the soulmate relationship that guides you to your higher purpose, establishing creative projects that you're destined to be a part of. So similar to like I think Gemini or the air signs, really, it's like you're stepping into your own feelings in a way that because you're changing your mind around what you feel. So there's certain feelings you're afraid to feel that now you're going to have confidence, because the stuff that used to make you feel like inhibited, it's like you have the courage to confront. And so for Capricorn, we do have the Princess of Cups. You're falling in love with love again, and you're redefining how it is you allow yourself to feel new feelings, especially with all this dark ass energy that you have around you. This is new intuitive gifts this week that manifest as a new feeling. And you're going to take that new feeling and apply it to everything you do. When you want to talk to somebody, for some of you Capricorns, you're either expressing, like if there's anyone that you're feeling Capricorn, write them a love letter. Like share your feelings. Or this might be happening to you, but you definitely want to encourage it and not like try and the Page of Cups comes up when it's okay to love and you're holding yourself back because you feel like you don't want to get infatuated. You want to be, if this isn't the King of Cups, like you want to be infatuated and like get in your fantasies. So Virgo, we have the Four of Pentacles. I told you, stop overthinking. You're getting to the bag. Like you're manifesting a lot of money this week that's going to step you into greater recognition and financial stability. And this is directly based off of work you did the last 2 weeks. So this is stabilizing you with this full moon uh, very, very, very accordingly. And once again, before I pull Taurus, the Five of Swords and the Devil card is just this negative self-talk around you that's just like, oh, you'll never be good enough. Oh, it's not you. It's like static energy around you that's just like almost having you feel like you're constantly down. This is something you're finally breaking free of, and you won't have it anymore. Your mind's gonna be so clear, and you're going to see it was purely deceptive, something that you thought was your own narrative script. It wasn't. It's conditioning that you was learned, and you're breaking out of for the first time. Okay, and Taurus, we have I can't make this up. We have Uranus, the foolish man. So you're stepping onto a whole new adventure. I'm a Taurus rising. For me, this is stocks. I'm getting into investments for the first time, right? But it's just, for Taurus, you're definitely not only re-innovating who you are, the foolish man, the spirit of ether is taking you on a brand new adventure of discovering how valuable you are. So keep an open mind this week, especially because there's some unforeseen opportunities that are going to rock your world, and you just have to take the leap. And I'm complete.
Yay!
Woo!
Kimberly.
Kim.
Damn, Kim.
There are okay. The
Dishing the
Aquarius it's like that too. Like I think it really does depend on their maturity level and where they're at in life. Like if they're in a successful like business venture, or they're really like good with money and or have stability, things like that, or if they're really artsy fartsy that just don't have a job, and it's a difference in Aquarius right there. Okay, I have a fucking stable Aquarius, but I did have a marriage that was to an Aquarius that was unstable. He was artsy fartsy and he didn't have any type of aspirations to get a job, things like that. That sucked, and yes, he did cry a lot. Like, you're right, Kim.
Oh my God.
Cried more than I did. But my Aquarius right now, he is.
Is Kimberly a fire sign?
Yeah, she's an Aries.
So they only cry to you fire signs. I was like, Aquarius is cry?
It's true. It's true. Like I never been so overwhelmed with emotions with Aquarius. Like I just was like, what the fuck? And then like when
they don't cry to water signs.
when I found Zach, I didn't know he emulated Earth like big time. You know what I mean? Like, he was really stable, and sure enough, he's a Taurus moon. And so that really shone through a lot when I barely met him. And I was like, damn, this dude is so stable. I thought he was like a Capricorn or a Taurus. And then I looked at his date of birth. I was like, oh, fuck, he's an Aquarius. Same exact dates, too. I was like, oh, my God, no way. And no, but he was perfectly fine because he had a job. He has a career. He's really business and goal-oriented.
Taurus moon.
Very different. Personality.
Yep, Carolyn's water, and she said her Aquarius never cried.
Right. I swear to God, I was like, "What?
You know what it is? I think it's because we are like fire signs are so like nonchalant, or we just fucking like whatever,
nonchalanting them.
Like we're just like, and they're like, fuck you, like
you appear to not care even harder, because Aquarius, that's like where the source of their quiet power is their ability to seem like they don't care. Like
and we don't care even more.
Yeah, exactly. You guys passionately don't care, and so like it's so they just cry because they can't win that game.
You don't care for real.
I can't believe this bitch is ignoring me. I'm ignoring her. I'm gonna ignore her. I'm not gonna text her back. And then it's like, oh, hold my beer. I did not text you back for a week.
Got him.
Yep. That's how Gemini's too. Like with air, like I swear to God, Gemini's the same way. Like when I dated a Gemini, the same thing.
I find myself accidentally doing mind tricks on people. Like I have to actually stop myself. Like, oh damn. I swear, accidentally. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just some people just set us up to do it, and it's like
some people set you up to manipulate them.
Yes, you don't understand what it's like to be ruled by Mercury. Like, it's happening. And before I know it, it's like, oh damn, like I need to fuck with this person's mind right now, and either be sarcastic or like show them the error of their thinking.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm still single. I don't know. It is what it is.
They put me in this position where I have no choice but to manipulate. I love it. That's one of the best Gemini quotes I've ever heard in my life.
Dude. Yeah, no, like with Gemini, it's like
Yeah.
I was like the same thing. Like I was like, I'm done with fucking air signs. God damn it, you know,
Right.
because of those experiences with Aquarius and Gemini. And I feel that it's because if they are not in a good financial situation, meaning they don't feel like they're stable, they don't feel like they're following their passions, like really what they really want to do, they go like they get like the worst, you know, of their aspects, you know, it comes out like big time. But if they are in a good place, like I said, maturity level is really important. They're stable, they're getting money, they're doing what they want to do, they love or whatever, then they're good. Like air signs are really good companions if they are, you know, thriving. Or they could be really bad if they're not, you know. So yeah, that's how I feel, at least, you know, like so yeah, so I never dated a Libra though. Like I've had somebody like Libras always telling me that they love me and like, oh, you know, why didn't you date me? Like you never fucking said anything. What the fuck? Now you tell me that I'm married, you know, like it's just I always had that with Libra. Like they never said anything. Like they flirted though. Like they flirted and I was just like, meh, you know, like because
Man.
fire signs are like that. They're like, what the fuck? Get out of my face, you know. We're like that. Like when a Libra flirts and they're all cute and stuff, we're just like, fuck off. And then we walk away, you know.
Well, we gotta do what we gotta do.
But yeah, but Libra's still like, hey.
And when you guys say fuck off, what we're hearing is like, I'm challenging you.
Yes!
I'm challenging you.
But they never once tell you how they feel until like it's already too late. You know what I mean? Like it's like bye.
We're the type that'll either tell you instantly or 10 years after.
Yes!
It'll either be instant or in fucking a decade after you're already married with another person. We're like, you know, back then, like, I really loved you. And they're like, what, you did?
Yes!
I really loved you so much. And like, you know, that's like how it is.
That's exactly
our life is a soap opera and we don't want it to be, but you know, we just have to fall in love a lot.
Yeah, that was my experience with Libras. There's like
the least convenient people to love. Like our life is a tough one. Like
or a Libra would be taken already, and then like and then they'll be like, oh, even though I'm taken, I just want to tell you how I feel about you.
What? Okay, I've never done that. I don't know anything about that.
So my Libra friend sat me down, and I think he was a Sag Moon. I don't know if he was Scorpio or Sag Moon, but he sat me down and he was telling me rationally, like he wasn't being sarcastic. He was telling me how, you know, when men cheat on their girlfriends or their wives, they hide it because they love them. that you love your partner, you just fuck these other girls. but like the way he rationalized and broke it down was so pure Libra. I had to give a points because it's like this is a TED talk. Like y'all can make anything sound right, and it's like so amazing.
If Libras do something that's weird or evil, it's because they literally believe like as a law. Because like when we do something, you know, like no matter good or bad, it's because we believe that it's like the right thing for us. Like the real law and like what other like the societal laws, like those things don't matter at all. Like our law, the Libra laws. So like if we believe in something, so I bet he absolutely
believed like, it's like
100%, yeah.
And like it made sense. Like the Gemini in me was like, it makes sense. The Capricorn,
you're like thinking about like, oh, maybe I can get away with it, but
the Venus and Taurus in me is like, but the Gemini is like, yep, I peep game. That makes sense.
No, Libra is the fucking player of the fucking zodiac. Like those guys are tacticians.
They're
like,
my confessions.
Like they know. Like,
what?
Sweet nothing in this girl ear. I got her.
No,
and then if I try a little bit harder with this one, I get just a little bit more.
We just have so much love that God gave us. He gave us so much love in our hearts that we just have a lot to spread around.
Every Libra in my life has effectively been Hitch Like without even like I don't even have to ask for dating advice. Before I even know what to ask, they're telling me the advice. And it's like, thank you. Like I really needed this. I had no idea. So I mean, thank
Like,
you.
it's okay if you have a little nibble on the side. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, because think about it. Like, if you didn't care about your partner, you would just cheat openly. You don't even want her to find out. So that means you must care about her so that she don't feel like cheated, and you're doing it.
No, the ultimate
The
love.
Libra
The reality is the
be
counter to
fruitful
this
and
guy's
multiply.
idea. The ultimate love is just being honest from the very beginning and saying, I'm going to be sleeping with multiple other people. You're okay with that or you are not. That's the ultimate honesty and ultimate truth. He's considering that a non-option as a deal breaker for the monogamous relationship in the first place.
Because that's not how you have your cake and eat it too.
What?
That's not how you have your cake and eat it too.
No, the cake and eat it too is just he finds someone who is in alignment with what is honest for him in the first
But
place.
he knows she won't like that. So it's,
He finds a partner who does.
so it's his self rule. It's like this
He
is
finds
right.
a partner who does. That's the simple part. That's the one error in his thinking is that he just if you love
Ultimately.
the person from the beginning, like then you'd love someone who actually has the same ideas as you, like in terms of like what you need in a relationship.
Yeah.
So he should just find a girl who likes the idea of him sleeping around.
Maybe a Gemini would be open to that.
Yeah.
I found
She was a Capricorn.
I find this interesting when air signs get together, there's always like some type of open relationship deal going on. Like it's either it's only the cardinal immutables though. Like it's only like Gemini and Libra, because when
Aqua's possessive.
Aqua's like fuck
Aqua doesn't play that.
No. And I always find that interesting. It's only Libra and Gemini that just get each other. And it's just like, all right, I'm going to go out with this chick tonight. Is that okay? Oh, yeah, fine. I'm going to be out with this guy. You know, like, it's just, there's just like whatever about it if they're like really into it, you know? But again, it's just different dynamics, different personalities. But I've always found that interesting. Libra and Gemini married, but always have like an open relationship. Like at least the ones that I met.
Well, the Libras of this generation have to explore the reality of relationships versus the societal expectations of relationships. Like it's just so fucking obvious that the classic archetypal that everyone fits in this category where they find one other person and then get together and they're married and that's correct. Like that just is not sustainable or realistic for all human beings. It's just not. That's not the way that all human beings work. It's the way some human beings work. And this game of make-believe that that's how all people work is a lie. It's a fucking lie. And Libras are in this place universally where in the past 36 years we've been exploring like, what is this type of style? What's that type of style? Is there even a style? Like, is there such a thing as relationships working at all in a classic monogamous paradigm? Or are all relationships bound to have a time in which they work and a time in which they don't? And so that's the thing that you've probably observed a ton of that, because I know I've tried like a million different types of relationship styles in my life. That's because I'm actually looking for what's honest, like what's legitimate, what actually feels right. Not what people, not what I could find someone who will agree with it likes.
It's more like you have to find someone that has a kindred spirit like you, regardless of like,
kinda, yeah. To me as far as just one Libra's experience, I'm looking for pure, genuine honesty, where an expectation doesn't determine a single aspect of the relationship, where it's genuinely self-created by both parties mutually for each and every single thing.
Yeah.
Like not one like
honesty.
Honesty.
Like
and
pure honesty.
I think
pure,
it really
like
does
genuine.
depend on the person's maturity level too. Like what are they really looking for? Especially being honest, like I think you will find that Geminis, and my experience, I find that they have a more open dialogue about that stuff, like more open and aware, as well as understanding, because they don't like being stuck in a box. You know what I mean? Like they like to explore everything and learn about different things. And that's what I find that I feel that's why that connection, especially with that type of relationship, open relationships like that, it's like the air signs, Gemini and Libra got it good. You know, they actually understand it.
It's like implicit trust.
Mm-hmm.
We could be open with each other.
Yeah, I feel that that's definitely the ones that actually work well with that. Other signs might have an issue, you know, like it depends. I know Sagittarius personally, I would say they would have an issue with lies, like withholding information or not expressing like the truth. Like I feel like if a Sagittarius was trying to have an open relationship with someone, they'll be like making excuses or saying, oh, making themselves look like they're the idealist, you know, instead of like actually being the fucking liar. I feel like that's definitely how it'll happen for that. That's why I don't do that. Like, because I'm like, I would finally be like, no, I'm not working with it. I'm not sleeping with anyone. You're the only one. You know, just me personally, as well as other. I find that Sagittarius are like that though, men too, where they can't be truthful. They're just gonna go behind your back. You know, even though you tell
the
them,
men are savage.
Yeah,
oh my
like
God.
even though you tell them, hey, I'm fine dating someone else, they're gonna be like, okay, like, and they're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, and they're gonna tell you. They're not gonna tell you shit, you know, like unless you pry it out of them. Like, hey, you know, are you dating someone else? Nah.
The only reason why I feel like
they're dating someone
right,
else.
and you always find out about it. But I mean that's what Zeus did. So I feel like it's okay when Sag does it because it's like father like son.
It's just I feel like they have a sneaky way of doing
It's
it.
in them.
If you get caught, they turn the fucking tables. They're like, whatever, you're the one that opened this up. You know, why are you mad?
Maybe if you didn't stress me out, I wouldn't have to do this.
Right, excuses. Yeah.
It's like they're either extremely promiscuous or extremely loyal. Like
there's no real like middle ground. It's like extremes directly for the Sagittarius. Exactly. Yeah. So. Yep.
Now, after all this deliciousness, after all this amazing, you know, I think we actually kind of tapped into something on accident there. We just sort of we just got into this whole relationship of the zodiac talk. So after all of this, I am curious, is Alexandria, Carolyn, Melanie, Andrea, and Leah, are you guys all here right now? I know Leah is. I know I saw Carolyn.
I saw Carolyn too. I didn't see Alex.
Alexandria is our very first one.
Uh-huh.
You're number one, Alexandria. Alexandria Johnson.
Carolyn's here. Cheryl wants to know what signs are good for cancers. I would say it depends. Like I always see couples, Cancer coupled with like a Virgo or a Taurus, earth sign, or possibly Pisces as a water sign. So I've never seen anything. Maybe fire sign will be a Sagittarius. That's the only time I've ever seen Cancer and Sag. But it's always a male Cancer and a female Sag. Has never been the other that I've seen.
Oh wait, male Cancer, female. You've never seen a female Cancer, male Sag?
No.
Interesting. I've only seen it once, and that it was rare, and it didn't really last. It was kind of It was intense though. We were like super in love, and then and I have seen a Gemini female and a male Cancer, but it was crazy. I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Cheryl, if you're a super independent Cancer, then totally find a Libra because it'd be awesome. But if you're one who likes an extremely close knit connection, like you know, like each and every day, like very close, then don't get a Libra. Do not get a Libra.
Because Libra is ruled by Venus and so is Taurus. I would say Taurus would be your best bet if you want a family, if you want that closeness.
Yeah, Taurus would be fun. Taurus and Cancer would be nice.
Mm-hmm. I always see Taurus men and Cancer women. That's what I've always seen.
Yeah.
They always have like big families, like fucking 10 kids or whatever. Like they always have a lot of kids, but they always have a nice house, you know, everything just perfect, picture perfect family. That's what I've experienced.
It's enlightening. That's what's up.
So, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so Carolyn's here. So Carolyn got a 1-card pull. Carolyn, do you have a question, or do you want a general reading? I almost was expecting to hear your voice, Carolyn, and I just realized that that's not possible. I was like, hello, come on, answer me. Come on, Carolyn.
General, she said.
General, let's do it.
1 card, right?
Yeah. Ooh. Carolyn's got her eye out for a Taurus, and I would say keep your eye out because you've got Ace of Cups. For you this upcoming week, I'm feeling definitely romantic energy coming in, high emotions, both good and some like really like some sad ones, but sad ones specifically for release. You look at this like water overflowing in this cup because there's so much emotion, it just doesn't even fit. And I think you're going to be releasing a lot of old stuff, and it's going to feel good actually. I think there's going to be a lot of nostalgia for you. You're going to be retracing your steps historically and how you got to where you are in life. And I think that it's going to end up being encouraging. You'll look at the sad parts of your life, but by the time you keep starting to see how things have changed for the better, you'll be like, yeah, like this is who I am. This is what's possible. And it's just dreams. Pay attention to them. Pay attention to all the love and the excitement that's going to be flowing in your life. And especially if you see a Taurus guy, you know, just be like, hey, you know, mine now. Just say that. Just be really direct. They'll love it.
I got the 6 of Cups for you. So it is definitely nostalgia, definitely coming in, revisiting the past, revisiting even like the way that you felt the first time you had a crush on someone, you know, like, oh, the butterflies in your tummy when you saw them, and even like the flirtiness, you know, things like that, and that like puppy love. I feel like that's definitely coming in for you, Carolyn. If it is a Taurus, you're definitely gonna see that from them too, because they're suckers for romance, just like Libras. And they definitely like to romance their mate, you know. They definitely like to pursue them, giving little love notes and little flowers and things like that. So that's a good choice, if in my opinion, if you do find a Taurus or even a Libra. And so the sun is in Scorpio with this energy as well. So it's definitely very a deeper emotional connection. That's what I'm hearing. It's a deeper emotional connection with someone. Okay, where it's just finally fulfilled. That is finally, that part that you've been asking for is finally going to be fulfilled. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Carolyn.
Beautiful.
Kimberly, what's some love notes and flowers? Get yourself a Libra then. Kimberly, try a Libra. She's an Aries, so they're opposite. So.
Although the modern Libra doesn't buy flowers anymore, like we help you plant them.
Oh, that's cute.
Because that way it's like it lasts.
Modern.
It lasts forever, like our love.
Yeah, I think there actually is a significant difference between the modern Libra and the Libra of this, you know, the 60s and before, you know?
I see some familiar stuff too, though.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, you know, hey.
Revolution of love.
We don't...
Let's love everyone.
Yeah. Speaking of Libra, I got Justice, which is the best part of all that. So the message for you is simple. This is literally just saying surrender to justice. And this gives me the inkling. And okay, I'm so sorry. After this broadcast, I'm getting the KFC a donut chicken sandwich. I just had to say that. But yes, the hangman is talking. I just had to claim it right now.
Oh,
You know,
poor Jax.
but the Jax, I'm gonna enjoy it for you. But yeah, the hangman is like having to surrender to, you know, when you're right. This is basically what it comes down to. You're right. The justice is saying you're right, but it's going to feel like you're wrong. And you know how you have to be like the bigger person when you don't want to be, and it's like, you know, you're right, but instead of having to like argue with everyone to explain how you're right, the universe is saying relax. I feel like this is a lesson for a Taurus. Like, just relax. You don't have to prove yourself. Justice is on your side. So people can think that you're wrong, but justice is going to be like, you were right the whole time. So the hangman is just like, you know, let people share their useless, dumb, lame ass, not unsolicited opinions, and you know, just be victorious. Sorry, that came out. And true. I am complete.
Came out true. That's what it came
out. I don't have coronavirus. I'm coughing because I just smoked weed.
Good. Weed actually helps stop the coronavirus. Not because it actually does, but because then you don't worry about it. For Melanie, Melanie is next. Melanie, do you have a question for the channeled readings we're about to do, or would you like a general one?
General, she said.
Oh, good.
Oh my God, Ari, remember when I just had to show everyone how my apartment got haunted, and I just kept finding the video, even though everyone's like, "You don't have to show us; it's all good. Don't worry.
We believe you.
We believe you. Don't worry. No, you have to see it. You have to see it.
I have proof."
Oh God.
I'm sorry. What's the card? How many?
Oh, it's a channeled message.
Oh, channeled message. Okay, no cards. Awesome.
Oh, we do those now. Nice.
Yeah. Direct channel. Do you want to start, Jax, or do you want to?
Sure.
Oh my God. House of Judea, the link should be in the description box below. Oh, you know what? It's not there.
Oh, I forgot to put it in there. I'm an idiot. Sorry. But I keep putting in the comments the links. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what I'm feeling, Melanie, is, so first of all, I was seeing this train and it was moving through this this tunnel. It was like moving extremely fast. You were feeling good about it. You're feeling optimistic. You went through this tunnel, and then all of a sudden the train emerged out of the tunnel and it was in a completely different landscape. So to me, I think that you're just about to go into something that you've been planning for a while. You feel good about the fact that at least it's moving. And once you arrive on the other side, though, things are going to look how you expected them to. So you're going to have to be open to that, because the thing is, it was like the feeling was, oh, this wasn't what I expected at all. This is actually, I planned for this. I wanted it to look like the way it did before I went through the mountain. But it's like, it's going to end up being a whole lot better if you can be open to it. If you have any trouble being open to it, then what you receive won't be as good, because you won't be able to utilize the opportunity properly. I would say the number one thing for you to do is to keep moving forward in the way you're the way that you are currently planning to, but be open-minded to how things could suddenly shift when the lights come back on, you know, when you finally exit the tunnel. It's going to be really powerful though. It feels like this is serious productivity. It's like the Chariot card, but times like 100.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so the first word that popped up is like taking control. It does feel like it's definitely connected with what Jax was channeling. It's more like taking control of like your relationships with other people. Okay, it feels like there is this give and take that is not equalized or balanced. Okay, it feels like more or less you're the one that starts the conversations, like, hey, good morning, how are you, hey, what are you doing, like that. And then it's like some people are just like, oh, hey, you know what I mean. And it feels like you're the one putting in more effort into it instead of like the person or the people that you are affiliated with are not putting as much effort as you are. Okay, you're the one always going around making sure everyone's okay, checking up on them, seeing how they're feeling, how they're doing, things like that. And it feels like no one else does that for you as much as you would like. Okay, so it definitely feels like you have to take control, meaning that you have to start speaking up for yourself, letting people know how you really feel. I know it's a scary thing to do because you don't know how they're going to react. But because what Jack said earlier, I don't know if you were here, regarding relationships and making sure who the fuck is going to be there or not, it's really important for you to voice this right now, especially because you're heading towards a direction that a lot of the people around you are not. They're not going to be 100% with you on that scale, okay, of like success, of you wanting to move forward and evolve. So it feels like you're definitely in that path towards realizing who really has your back and who doesn't, who is really going to be there 110% and who's not. And also, when you start speaking up for yourself, expressing exactly what you desire out of relationships, especially with friendships, you will find that a lot of them really didn't understand, really didn't know that that was how you felt. Okay, so you will have a lot of that happening too. So my advice is just definitely take control. Okay, take control of who you allow in and who you don't. Okay, like this just is it's a process of evolution. That's what I keep hearing from your guides. Process of evolution is going to be tough, emotionally speaking, but it's necessary. Okay, so that's what I have for you.
Mine was very much so taking control, but more so, well, no, it's taking control. At what I heard was energy vampires. And you don't just have people like wanting to drain your energy. It's just a bunch of transactional relationship dynamics that logically make sense, but like intuitively you don't want to do it. It's almost as if you feel like you're only entertaining some people because you're being nice or you have to. And like taking back control is like if your heart doesn't want. Okay, so let me kind of break this down. First of all, you got the juice. So like this is the context of this is you're getting ready to like come into so much more abundance, and some people around you know that. So instead of like draining your energy, they're giving you stuff. And they're giving you stuff transactionally. They're doing stuff for you. And like they'll invite you stuff and do stuff for free, for example, and your heart doesn't even really want it, but you don't want to be mean. So like because they did that to you, it's like they indirectly expect stuff from you. And any type of dynamics that you have that's based on that, spirit is wanting you to cut off, even if they try and twist it on you and be like, but I did all this stuff for you, how come you're that? And it's like, you definitely want to cut off now, because and I think this week such dynamics will arise with Mercury coming out of the shadow, because now you're manifesting abundance that they are in a position to try and finesse from you under the guise of like looking out for you. And yeah, I really hope that makes sense for you too. but I'm complete.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And for our next person, which is Zach, Zach or Andrea, if you can let us know if you'd like.
Zach.
It is Zach? Okay, Zach, can you let us know if it's a general or if you have a question?
Is that going to be for reading or for channel?
Maybe for channeled. When in doubt, channel out, as I always say.
You always do say that.
Channeling the Death Star.
The Death Star.
When in doubt, channel the Death Star from Star Wars.
General Sauce is cool.
All right, who wants to start the channel sauce?
Oh, I'm waiting for Zach to respond.
Oh, he just said it.
So,
Oh.
the general sauce I got for you is the habits you're breaking out of are more challenging than you're used to, and it should almost feel like you're struggling to get through habits you have already mastered. It's not like you're revisiting stuff that you've broken through, but it's just like stuff that was usually easy to deal with. It's almost as if it's tougher, and the universe is using you as a blueprint for others to know how to transcend through whatever behavioral issues. So like, let's say you're breaking habits right now. Everyone in your life is going to see how you've broken out the habit, and it's going to impact their life. But it's under the guise where it's like you have to go through this difficulty because the people around you are watching you almost show a new way. And it's crazy because to you, you might think, oh, I'm not having as much progress as I want, but people are looking at the way you respond to events, and it's just like giving them amazing epiphanies. But I almost feel like that it doesn't feel like that for you. You may feel the opposite, but like everything you're breaking habits is showing others around you the way.
Yeah. For me, what I'm picking up like a bunch of shiny metal energy, kind of like under the water, like shiny coins and different things. You have to look at like, what can you carry right now? Like, what can you grab of that metal and still be able to get back up above the water, and going back and forth and back and forth? Are you taking the time to rest? Are you taking the metal that you've collected and the coins and the jewelry and all that stuff? Are you putting it up somewhere safe and then going back down and taking one trip at a time? Or are you trying to take all of it in your arms and then, like swim to the top, but it's too difficult and then you end up drowning? It's like, now's the time to definitely reassess if you're resting enough, if you're spacing things out enough. Of course, you want to succeed as fast as possible. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, like the rest portion of that, the relaxation, the mental clarity and being rejuvenated, that is all such a huge part of this next stage of your journey. I feel like that is arguably the most important part of your journey next, is being able to rest more and regenerate physically. So, and I think of course that'll affect your mental health in a really positive way, but physically resting a lot.
Oh, when you first said rest, I split the deck and got the 4 of Swords.
Boom.
Yeah, that was amazing.
All right, Zach, let's see. All right, so I am intuitively picking up kind of like stress energy, like kind of like on your like shoulders to your neck area. It's connected to your heart space too. So it's kind of like a pinching. What I'm feeling is a pinching. So there's a lot of stress related to like your emotions and how you feel about yourself. There's a lot of negative self-talk that you're trying to break from, okay? Like break that cycle of negative self-talk, of self-doubt, of limiting beliefs, things like that, because it feels like you're definitely transmuting a lot of things, definitely transitioning from one reality or aspect of yourself to another, and that is accumulating a lot of like I would say emotional lessons from maybe from the past. I feel like there's definitely people who are reflecting a lot of lessons for you as a mirror effect to help you with this. I also feel like there is, yes, a need for physical relief is a big one, because my eyes are even feeling heavy. Like they're feeling heavy. They're feeling like I am so exhausted right now, mentally and emotionally exhausted. And so it feels like you're definitely in that state of like, fuck, you know, I really want to move forward with certain things, but I feel like I don't have enough time in the day. I feel like I'm tired, overworked. I feel like there is just so much that you want to create, and just so little time. You feel that there's so little time to do it, you know, but there's not. There's plenty of time. You just need to take rest, because remember, our immunity depends on how much we rest, how much we take care of our physical body, especially when it comes to like wanting to create something, wanting to move forward in projects and success, things like that. We still have to take our rest time, our rest period. So I feel like you should definitely hone in on the energies of like a Taurus energy for this, okay? Because if you're, it feels like really Capricornish, you know, the way that you deal with day-to-day tasks, not giving a fuck about the time, you know, like I gotta finish this, you know. But if you do the Taurus, like, okay, I worked hard, I deserve to indulge in some nap time, in some whatever relaxation, you know, things like that. I feel it'll definitely help you balance this. Okay, you are heading towards the success that you want, but you still need to take breaks for yourself. Self-love, self-nurturing, things like that have to happen. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Zach.
It's beautiful. And we've got Leah and then Zanata. All channeled messages. So Leah or Zanata, do either of you want general, or do you have any particular questions? Oh my God, Kim, soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur.
You're welcome, Zach. Ha, Kimberly. Yeah, I had my cat right here. I was like petting her, my calico. She often comes and checks on, like, what's going on? Huh? You're channeling? Okay, let's see what's going on. Leah says general for her.
Okay.
Nice.
So for me, what I'm picking up, I got this vision. It was like this cocoon, and it was on this like dark forest floor, and it was like the cocoon faded down as if it was like representative of death, and like the nutrients went down, and then there was like out of the summer morning, there was like this bright cocoon that sort of sprouted forth, and it was like ready to emerge with a butterfly, but it didn't show the butterfly yet. So to me, what it's like, that's like the classic death and rebirth imagery. It's like basically, I think it's about not underestimating how much of your life you can still transform, like what particular areas of your life you can transform. I think that you are actually deep down desiring to completely re-innovate and transform what your entire life looks like. And there might be part of you that's like, well, realistically, I could transform this, this, and this. And like for everything else, like that's just a whole lot to regenerate. It's like, I just personally feel like you can actually transform all of it, you know, or essentially all of it. You can really go in sort of an overhaul state and transform the majority of your life and the way that you want it, and the way you like things that seem almost unrealistic to expect feel very possible. And it felt like this cocoon originally, it's like it could have emerged with a butterfly, but man, by waiting and allowing sort of the death of that winter and then that spring and then the summer came and then it just emerged, it was like you can expect something a lot better than a winter butterfly. You know, you should have a summer butterfly. That's what it feels like.
Yay.
Or
Summer
hell's
body.
butterfly.
Ready for the beach.
Asking a Gemini, Aquarius, Pisces, and Sagittarius to do anything in a timely manner. Born with no idea what's going on, and I'm not about to start now. Woo.
Sometimes. Or you could just fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Fake
That's
it.
what Gemini does usually. Oh, I don't really know what this is about, but I'm gonna just talk my ass off until I sound like I know what the fuck I'm saying.
Wait, House of Judea is Zanata? You're both one and the same person? Oh my
Yep.
plot twist. That's
All
me.
right, Leah. Okay, so we're doing Leo, right? So
Yeah.
you want to go next, Mike?
Yeah. This is a channel or
Channel, yeah.
all right. Note cards. I'm picking up more that you're a transformation agent and you have to be okay with triggering the crap out of people and like saying it's almost as if God just designated you to say the one or two words that is just going to cut at people's hearts, because if they don't hear it from you, the people around them are either yes men or it's interesting. I'm getting the vision that they're people who are intimidating too, like people who other people wouldn't have the guts to tell. You just rip them a new bow, and you're not being malicious. It's not even like you have the intention of like hurting people, but your words are clear and straight to the heart. So it's like the energy I'm getting is like you're the one that's having to tell people the things that the image that I have is like maybe someone is doing something they're not supposed to and no one's saying anything. And you're like, really? Like no one's gonna tell this person, and like you're just, but it's not even like you're doing it with a vengeance, it's just nonchalant. Like it's almost like when you're saying it, you don't even fully know that it's gonna trigger them. You're just saying it because it's honest, and like you're just whether they give you props or not, you're directly just triggering people internally and having them deal with what arises from the true nature of your words.
Awesome. All right, Leah, let's see.
Shout out to Leah, by the way. We had an amazing reading this week.
All right, Leah. So I'm feeling kind of like guides touching my shoulder, as well as kind of like on like my lower rib cage. So this is the masculine. No, this is a feminine. The feminine, and I'm feeling like there is a need for emergence or emergence of both masculine and feminine. You are very masculine energy, like there's a high percentage of it, and that's a good thing. But there has to be a kind of like a balance in the feminine too. Like you have to say your words with directness, but also even when you're direct, say something kind of uplifting at the same time. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you talk to a child, like it feels like that's what you have to do with these people. Talk to them like a child, let them know why they fucked up, and then let them know what can we do to fix this, and yes, you're doing a great job, you know, give him that encouragement like a child. Like feels like you're definitely working with people like this, but it's necessary to balance these energies, because you are definitely very direct, but you also have to be like encouraging as well, so that they know that you have their back. If they change their attitude, if they change the way that they're doing things, that they're more about like I would say compromise and working with one another, then you have their back. You know, it's definitely something that you are that one person that is going to be able to move this whale, like this group consciousness together and weld it together by your openness, by your willingness to work with like difficult people, by your willingness to work with different personalities, being that bridger, you know, being that diplomat, I would say. So definitely honing in on that feminine energy to assist you with that, to have more patience, of course, more than anything, and of course be more encouraging for open lines of communication in a healthy way. All right, so that's what I have for you, Leah.
That's awesome. And now we have Zanata.
Awesome. And she wants a open general
Yep.
channeled.
So for me, immediately, what I get is this feeling of, especially because we're in your season right now, it feels like you either just like this morning or last night had like a dream or a meditation, but it feels like essentially the idea is you pulled this thread, you picked up on something, you got like a glimpse of something, and it feels like something, it keeps coming through to me as like this brightest blue energy, like it's almost unreal. And it was like a feeling of divinity. It's like a feeling of connection to like a god or goddess or something like that. To me, what that all represents is basically that you've pulled a thread and you're starting to see that it leads somewhere. And so you have to keep following that. There might be part of you that thinks like, oh, that was an interesting like vision I had, or that was like an interesting intuitive moment. But it feels like if you continue to follow that, you'll be able to find like a really serious part of yourself, like a part of yourself that has always wanted to be seen and explored. And it's so important to explore that, because if you do, it feels like there's a next level of your spirituality that you'll be unlocking for yourself, and it doesn't look like anyone else's journey. It's very specifically yours, but it feels like it's you tapping into your true magic, the magic of like your birthright, or the magic of like your destiny. It feels like it's very significant. So whatever this little clue was, this little divine string or little puzzle piece or whatever, like follow that, see where the rest of it goes. This is going to be like so magical. And it feels like these next 7 days, every single day will like you'll pull a little bit farther on the thread, and it will go a little bit further into another room, and then another room, and another room. And you'll just have to see where that leads. But you have to be open to the mystery and the excitement of it, including the unknown. So yeah, it feels pretty wild.
Yes.
It is super wild. Did you go first, Ari?
No, you go next, and then I
I went last on
at the
Leah. I just went
final.
first on Zen.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so yes, Zenarta, this is really well, let me say Zen, because like the energy I have for you is this mega Jesus compassionate energy,
Right?
where like certain people are having to um confront like BS militantly, like an air sign, like don't talk to me like that, like draw the boundaries. And like you have to be assertive, because once they see you assertive, they know they can't walk over you. With you, it's totally different. It's like people could be aggressive and hostile towards you, people could be sarcastic and witty towards you, people could be directly trying to undermine you, but this compassion energy you have, it's all useless compared to it. It's like you can walk up to a murderer that wants to kill someone, you just give them a hug, and now they're crying on your shoulder. So this is like challenging you. And I feel like this is the Piscean, like transcendent challenge, was like you're having to respond to everything with compassion. And and the universe is putting you in chaotic situations just so you can see how the power of your compassion works, in the case where some people will be like, how did that work? And it's just like, and it's you're just getting it, which is something I feel like you already embrace, and you're like a source of it, and you're going to be showing people, wow, like I thought violence would work, or I thought I should snap. And it's just like a higher level of emotional intelligence that you're using to deal with some of the most tense of social situations.
Awesome. All right. All right, then let me just connect. All right, so I'm feeling pulsing in the third eye. I'm also feeling kind of like tapping in the heart space. Throat as well. So I feel like you're definitely living in your upper chakras, like a majority of the time. I feel like there is intensity coming around from the lower chakras, trying to be aligned with the upper, especially with grounding purposes. Okay, so if you have had situations where you've been pulled away from, you know, the things that you want to really concentrate on, especially when it comes to yourself, your ambitions, your prosperity, your abundance, all that stuff, and you're being pulled to different directions by other people, things like that. That's what the tapping is for the heart. Okay. That's what it's like, kind of like they're knocking on your door, like, hey, help me, help me, help me, help me. And then the third eye is like you're wide open. That's why it's happening, because you can see everything. You can see what's really happening. You can intuitively connect instantly with people's situations, and therefore that's why you're getting more of them coming to you, you know, to assist, or sorry, for you to assist. With the lower chakra disconnection, that's something that is rooted in you wanting to be a little bit more at a high vibration, but not wanting to deal with a lot of the junk that comes with the material world, meaning like 3D mentality regarding success, regarding relationships, regarding kind of like that polarity energy. You know, you're just like, oh, you know, I don't really want to do this right now. So that's why it's coming even more in full force. And so what I'm feeling is a need for you to connect to the root chakra, a need for you to connect with that more intensely and connect with the energies of the mother, anchoring in all of the stuff going on right here in the third eye, anchoring it into the mother to assist you in alleviating and giving you a break from certain people. Another thing that I'm catching is your kind of like a fluctuation in the glands area, like especially in like the metabolism area, where fatigue happens a lot of the time because you are giving a lot of your attention to others. So it feels like you're definitely fatigued a high majority of the time. It does feel like you're suppressing your hunger at times, as well as overindulging at times. It's like a fluctuation of diet. It feels like that. Sometimes it's because of the emotion that's behind it. That's where I feel like it's a lot of emotion behind what's happening. And so it either you get really upset and you don't want to eat, or you get really like I guess overstimulated and you start like recharging, you know, like, oh, I gotta eat something to recharge. So there's definitely fluctuation here. And also voice. That's the reason why, is you have to really tell them like, hey, not today. Today I'm taking a break for me. Today I really need to concentrate on me, you know, things like that. So it's definitely an important thing for you to, it's not that you're blocking, you know, these relationships or anything like that. It's more like you're slowing them down so that you can concentrate on you, recenter within you. All right. So that's what I'm picking up for you.
It's a really awesome formula we have going on.
Yeah, she has a lot of activity right here. Like as soon as I tapped it, I was like, woo, I'm flying out of here.
And now we've got oh wait, Michael, do you still have to go?
Nope.
No, he's done.
So Alexandria from the very beginning is now here. So
Awesome.
yeah. So Miss Alchemy, do you have any questions in particular, or would you like a general? Just let us know. And then Leo wants a 1-card pull afterwards.
Okay. Thank you, Zen.
One card?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sending an Uber on the first date?
Hmm?
No, I'm just asking a random question that has nothing to do with anything, because I'm a Gemini and I just.
Oh, I was like, what?
Can't.
I must.
Are you gonna have a stranger pick up your date? Is that what it is? Don't do that.
I want to know that I'm gonna date someone strong and that she can make it.
This is your first test.
Yes.
You notice with the wolf, the Uber, I've got like a lot of tests. I just want to make sure that the next generation, you know, will come from the right place.
I'm testing you because I care about you.
I want to make sure that you are independent like you said you were.
Good and easy.
I'll know for sure whether or not you are independent.
Niche.
Miss Alice, she said general. She wants a general.
Yep, she wants a general, and she's a Gemini.
Nice. Oh, okay. So.
I assumed the Gemini would have first, 'cause
Now he pays attention. I'm like,
I was
oh,
like-
Gemini.
Oh, it looks like I'm first. All right, perfect. All right.
All channeled or
Oh, beautiful. We have the High Priestess, which is clearly you, Miss Alchemy. This is just you bathing in your radiance. And yeah, I get the sense that you're revealing to your own self like the deeper level of your own psychic ability, where you've understood how your intuition works to the point where it's predictable, and now you're utilizing it. And we have the sun that I pulled it with, which is kind of symbolic because the high priest is the moon. So the underlying theme is the King of Swords, right? You've mastered your intuition at a level to where you can become an expert at it, and you're going to be using your intuition logically, like a lawyer would, which, you know, you wouldn't expect a lawyer to use intuition. And that's what's so game changing about it. It's like you're going to apply intuition in highly intellectual, logical ways that ground break the practical nature of how you can, you know, change the game here. So I would just be very mindful of your dreams and what your synchronicities are on point. So whatever you see is whatever you're bringing up, but you're definitely taking intuitive ability to the next level, which is awesome. Gemini gang.
For me, it feels like, you know, it's funny that that was everything about the high priestess and going off the high energy. I definitely feel that too. For me specifically, the way that's manifesting is like this feeling of like like a crystal ball. You know, the feeling of like you being able to divine images out of everything. You know, like whether it's like tree bark, whether it's like, you know, the markings on a table, you know, just that they get scuffed over time, like being able to see a divine message in literally everything in the world being a crystal ball. I think that that's like, it's definitely time to not think it's silly or not underestimate how powerful your third eye is right now, and how much it's like reaching out to get messages for you. It's trying to actively seek like the communications of the divine. So like listen carefully, pay close attention, and be ready to receive that from weird places. It's going to be bizarre omens, symbols, and synchronicities, but I think they're going to be everywhere for you like this next week.
And Jack's triggered a deeper understanding for me. It's like, instead of using your intuition, you become the intuition.
Yeah, exactly. Becoming it. Yeah. Gemini and Pisces both share that. They both share that special way that they can not use intuition, but yeah, just like coexist in the same place as it. You know?
Damn.
all right. So let me see. Let me connect. I keep feeling kind of like touching right here, temples area, sinuses, as well as third eye, a lot of buzzing. Hands are big, like big energy in your hands. So what I'm intuitively getting is kind of like with the temples, because they're connected to like everything is sinus, everything, the third eye is sinuses, connecting to everything like that. You might feel like drippage, some type of like sinuses, some type of like maybe itchy eyes, or even with your ears, like popping or frequencies change, like, you know, like weird frequencies like that. When you are connecting. Okay, it might feel uncomfortable at first, is because your physical body has to catch up to your spirit body. There's this way of like, or a big wave of activation happening to you, and you will have physical like ailments, or you might think you're sick but you're not. It's ascension symptoms. With your hands in particular, you have healing hands. That's what I always get a buzzing for the hands for healers. So when you have the ability to work with your hands, meaning like even if you touch someone gently, they will feel the healing that you are, even if you don't try, they will feel like, oh, I feel better now, you know. And even when you do it for yourself, where you're like touching like certain parts of your body, you will feel it stop. Like, especially if there's buzzing, or there seems to be like kind of like a pulsing in the frontal lobe. If you go like this and get closer and you touch like this, it automatically heals that. It feels like there's a lot of activation happening for this very purpose. This is one of the many gifts that you have, direct channeling as well as activator, as well as healer. So there's like a multifaceted, multi-dimensional self being, or aspects coming in for you to like right now. So use whatever it is. Don't get in your way. Don't judge yourself. Do not judge. Do not judge. They're saying be like a Pisces with this. Allow it to just flow in. Write it down if you need to understand it later. But at this time, when these activations are happening, just let them happen. Just let yourself remote view. Just let yourself be in that moment. Do not judge it. Do not ask questions. Just allow. Okay? Because this is one of your biggest tremendous activations that will help you feel more comfortable with your intuition and actually accept it 100%. And so it's definitely a Piscean. You need to be a Piscean for this. Okay, don't get in that mindset like of the air sign trying to analyze. Okay, just let that channel, let that flow in. Okay, and with that being said, you will see a tremendous change in your intuition. You'll know exactly what you're receiving, like intuitively, without question. You'll be like, oh, I'm receiving this for this person. Oh my God, I'm receiving this for that person and for you. Okay, so it feels like this is a big step forward for you. Okay, so that's all I have for you.
Brilliant. Now, Leah wants to know what's up with the third eye, and so we're going to do a one-card pull for that. As far as Norma, who's afterwards, Norma, do you have a question, or would you like a general channeled message? Either way is awesome. So, Ms. Leah, let's take a look. Let us see what is up with your third eye. Interesting. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Trust it implicitly and explore in any way psychically you've always wanted to. So you have Six of Wands. So Six of Wands is basically saying now's the time to explore all kinds of new stuff because your third eye is like extremely accurate, like very direct and certain about what it's seeing. It's illuminating everything around it. There's a certain sharpness to this energy, and it feels like with the Six of Wands, it's rather fleeting because our energy can't stay in permanently like a spike like this. It has to go up and down and slowly, you know, ebb and flow like the ocean, like everything else in the world. So the Six of Wands is saying right now, definitely capitalize on this opportunity to explore your gifts, to explore your third eye. Definitely try out any new techniques you've been interested in. Say, for example, you've tried meditation, but you've never tried astral travel. You've tried remote viewing, but you've never tried remote listening, or you've never tried lucid dreaming. Like, now's the time to explore anything that felt a little bit unapproachable, or that it might be like require so much more than you're able to do right now, because Six of Wands is saying like you have a hyper powerful third eye. So don't be surprised if it's extremely active right now.
What I pick up for your third eye is that you are going to have acceptance. Pretty much, you really want to accept what you're going to see, because your third eye is so good. deeper layer of your unconscious mind that operates unbeknownst to, like, it's just a facet of your unconscious that you're not conscious of. So consciously you want to see more, but unconsciously you see so much that you start to see into the pain. Like, you can look at a situation and start crying because you know what that means. Like you can see two people talking and like everyone looks at it on the surface, but you see what that means. And that has caused you so much pain that unconsciously parts of you have blocked it. So you have to accept. See, it's weird for me to say because I'm telling you you should accept it, but you already accept it. It's like just like having you accept consciously, so your subconscious can accept it as well. But basically, as far as your third eye, like you know, this is like being able to see when people are gonna die, and like being able to see stuff that you have to perceive so that you know you can hold space for who you share with share. So but message I have for you is just be prepared to see deeper than you're comfortable with seeing and accept what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Leah. So what's up with your third eye? So let's give it a little check. I like doing the check real quick so that I know exactly how to assist you. Okay, you definitely have a lot of purple and gold energy. That's what I'm seeing in the third eye. So a lot of like kind of like what I feel is transmutative energy. So that's why you are going to have hyperactivity of sightings. I am also seeing something above like your head, like you have this the orbs. So you can't see them directly, but they're always like around, like either in your peripheral vision or above your head, and you're just like, what the fuck is that? Or you already know you're safe, you know, you feel comfortable with it, but you're still trying to curious about like what does that mean, what does it represent. So what I feel like you are seeing more than anything is activity with the third eye. I'm also seeing that you can see through like molecular levels as well, like when you see a wall and all of a sudden it starts kind of like shifting, like kind of shaking like this, that's how I see. I have to like stop like I really have to concentrate on grounding when that happens. So you're kind of similar to me, so it kind of starts doing this number, right? It's a solid wall, it starts shaking like this, and then you start seeing little like molecular structures as well as kind of like geometric shapes, and that's because your third eye is actively working so that you can know that you can see beyond the material world into the spirit. That's what it's showing you. It's showing you the structures of things. It's showing you how everything works at a molecular level. It's also showing you what you can do with it, okay? Practice makes perfect. So if you are seeing things like this means you start looking into molecular healing, which is something that the Arcturians do. The Arcturians are the star beings from the constellation of Taurus and the star system Arcturus, which is the largest star in that constellation. So calling them on up and asking them questions about like, how is this applicable? How am I going to work with this? What does this mean for me? They are going to teach you how to heal people this way, okay? When you start looking at the material world in this way, that means that you are able to hone in on your healing abilities through a molecular level, where you heal people or you assist people with their healing in a cellular structure, going into the atom and fixing that with them, okay? So it's a lot of information to take in right now, but I'm sure you already knew this intuitively because there's a lot of information you're downloading, and there's a lot of energy with the golden energy. That's a Christ consciousness energy. That's what I'm tapping into, as well as the you're similar to me. Like I said, like I have a lot of purple and gold in my energy field. The violet is the violet flame of freedom, or the transmutation, where you are able to transmute and change and transform things in that way through the flame, and then also heal it through the Christ consciousness, and a kind of like an expansion of understanding the oneness as well. So it's kind of like you are just so advanced and you know it, but you just don't know, okay, what direction am I going to use this with? You know, how am I going to start this off? Like, how am I going to do this? So definitely I would ask you to sit with yourself, with your guidance, with your higher self, with your guides, if you have particular ones that you like to work with, even calling in the Arcturians, because they're more knowledgeable with this stuff too. So sit with that, contemplate, ask questions, write things down. If you need to draw them out, that's even better, you know, so that you can understand what is going on with the third eye in particular and where it's leading you to. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Leah.
All right, and lastly, we got Norma. So Norma wants a general channeled message. I don't know why I assumed Ari should go first, but it feels like Ari's supposed to go first.
Norma, a channeled message. Oh, I love Norma's energy. She's a Gemini. Okay, let's see, Norma. I'm feeling a lot of heart center stuff. I'm feeling a lot of like pulling in the neck and the shoulders, so stress induced. I'm also feeling a lot of questioning, okay? Questioning of direction. I feel like you're already taking the proper steps towards a new direction, a new path. I'm also feeling like this is kind of like helping you open up in your heart space, as well as like a lot of activity up here. So it feels like you are heading in that direction that you're for your life purpose. It doesn't mean that the direction that you were in or you're currently in is not your life's purpose. It's actually a part of it. It just means that now you're just like more confident in moving forward because you're getting more information. You're getting a deeper connection to your guidance. You're more intuitive. You're more open to receiving information as well as assisting. Like it's kind of natural for you to do this stuff now. It's just flows. Like you just know how to talk to people. You just know what to tell them to calm them down. You just know exactly what to say to fix situations now. And so when you're seeing this, you're seeing like a lot of chaos in that workspace, but you're always able to navigate through it. So now they're kind of like there's a push going on in your direction towards your higher purpose. There's definitely a big like you wanting to go now, like yay, let's go, you're ready. I'm not sure if you've already disclose your intentions to where you work or not, but I feel like it's definitely going to run smoothly. It's definitely going to be like, okay, awesome, best of luck. And you're just going to be like, yes, I can do whatever the fuck I want now. Like I can really focus on my journey. I can really focus on what I'm here to do. There seems to be a lot of like the fear that is basically that was holding you back is gone, and it feels like you're definitely seeing things much more with like brand new eyes, seeing all these ideas flow in on exactly what you want to do. I'm also getting like a lot of indigestion because of it, because you're just like, yes, let's absorb everything, you know, because there's a lot of energy that's definitely coming and propelling you forward. And so it feels also that that you're preparing for the future. You're establishing a solid foundation with this, and you are definitely being more open about who you are with people. Okay, like people are just always questioning like, how is she so good at this? How is she so intuitive? She knows exactly what to say to people, things like that, because now you're being more open about who you are. Okay, you're not letting them, you know, hold like any type of fear hold you back. You're definitely stepping forward into your power. It feels like the magician combined with the high priestess energy, as well as the high priest. Like it feels like there's threefold energy in your space that is like the masculine, the feminine, and the creator, like the creation, I would say, like two energies combining to create one thing. So it's definitely, oh my god, there's just big big information coming in, big activity that you will find yourself maneuvering through in order for you to get back on that road that you desired for a very long time. So that's what I have for you, Norma.
That's awesome. And yeah, it's so interesting, Norma, because you had posted those.
You put your 2 weeks. I'm sorry, she put her 2 weeks in.
Yes. Well, yeah, she had posted those purple and green hearts, and like while you had done that, Norma, like I was sort of like just kind of meditating and letting myself sort of channel your energy, and it was a bunch of pink and green energy. And so it's funny you had that sort of like those colors that you just decided to put out there. But it's interesting because with all this focus on the job, I'm actually picking up something in a different dimension in your life right now. It's all about romantic healing. Like it feels like with this pink and green energy, it's like there's forgiveness for the stuff that didn't happen in the past. There's acceptance for the way that certain things didn't turn out the way you'd hoped that they did. There's this feeling of hope and renewal and newness, like new flowers. It's really interesting. It feels like it's unexpected because this career change and this physical 3D change has like opened or unlocked something up as far as like your internal love wisdom and your connection to love, your connection to relationships. And yeah, it's really interesting to see how that's going to manifest, but it feels like it's a very important part of your life. It's almost like a theme in this upcoming chapter of your life, and you're going to be experiencing so much of that. Like the next few months, I'm feeling that that's going to be a constant reminder and a theme as things are going more successful with, you know, career, with a bunch of other different parts of your life. It feels like you'll be very like on track as far as things going well, but this feels like a beautiful emotional journey in the background.
Did I just get booted out of the call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost thought that the call cut, and like my computer literally just set off, and it's actually on. It's just not turning. That's weird. That's super weird. And it acted as if like it was streaming, like it stopped streaming, but it is what it is.
Weird.
I was just gonna say you're actually being called to kind of take a underhanded route or kind of deal with certain shady individuals that are gonna kind of show you a alternative way of doing things, but because you actually have integrity, it's like you know how to. It's weird. It's very Neptunian. It's like you're being shown how not to do something so that you can know how to do something. But like you're going to see cases where people are out of integrity. So you see what can go wrong, and this is tied into like new avenues of making income, specifically geared towards like network marketing. But yeah, it's more so like specifically you having to be okay with it's like there we go. It's like meeting two drug dealers who tell their stories about selling coke, and you don't sell coke, but you listen to the stories about them selling coke and you adopt the strategies they did towards something legal, and it's just gonna like really change the game for you. So maybe watch Breaking Bad or something.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Never heard someone say that before.
Screw you, Mercury, for just booting me off my computer.
It was perfect timing, though. Seriously, it's been an awesome meeting today and talking with you guys and doing the Tarotscope for the upcoming week. I think it's going to be a beautiful week we have ahead of us.
Oh.
It's going to be pretty magical.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here and for allowing us to read for you guys and channel for you guys. I love assisting you guys with your journey. And thank you, you two wonderful air signs, for allowing me to be my crazy fire sign self. So we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Make sure that on this Virgo full moon, if you have not done your rituals, I highly recommend that you do. Whatever it is that you really desire, I highly recommend that you ask the universe for. during the full moon, because it is in an earth sign. So there's a lot of manifestation to go around, especially in the physical with this. Okay. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.